Hi crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DIY Dreaming. I hope you are having a wonderful day. In this video tutorial, we're going to do flowers from coffee filters, and these coffee filters came from Dollar Tree. So it should be really fun. I'm super excited about this. I want to tell you a couple things up front. Number one, I am just making flowers as they come to me. These are not specific flowers except for the hydrangea in nature. So if you can think of the name of a flower that resembles at all what I've made, let me know that in the comments. Also, I have my light fixed and my camera angle fixed, and I'll put it down even further in just a few minutes, so you should be able to see everything really good. And then the last thing is, I've seen you guys' pictures of the beautiful coffee filter roses and stuff. And really, this is not quite at that same level. This is just to show you how easy and fun it is. Okay, so before I came live, I've been playing for about 2 hours and having a ton of fun. And this is my little work surface. I made all of my different colors using chalk paint, or using ink from Magnolia. And so let me lay down my link real quick. Oh shoot, I'm not on Facebook, darn. And to make, let's see, okay, to make the paints, basically, this is kind of like dyeing Easter eggs, is what it feels like to me. But to, oh shoot, I'll come back to this. To make my different colors, I just added a little bit of warm tap water and then a scoop or two of each color. So this is red, and it's ruby red ink from Magnolia. This one right here is Vivid Cerulean from Magnolia. This one right here is Pineapple. And then this one right here is Fuchsia Rose. This one is Sangria. And this one is Turquoise. And there's 100 other colors that you could do this. So this is just, I was just using what I had. And anyways, I am going to push this out of the way. I'm going to show you everything, you guys. If you've been wanting to know how to do this, I'm going to show you everything from start to finish. I'm going to show you how to cut out some different styles of flowers. Then I'm going to show you the really fun part, which is when we start painting. Then I'm going to show you how I dry them. And then we're going to talk about how to scrunch them, what you can do with them, all that kind of business. So, and if there's a specific flower that you want to do, let me know in the comments, and if I can figure out how to do it, I will, because I love making flowers. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see if I can just get this open and get my link real quick, so that you guys can just hop over there and take a peek if you want at the different colors. Okay, here we go. I hate having to do this. Facebook makes everything so darn complicated sometimes. Okay, done, all done. Okay, so the first thing is cutting your flowers out, whatever style it's going to be. And I just used the sharpest pair of scissors that I had because I wanted to cut more than one at a time. So I'm cutting either 2 or 3, and I tell you what, these coffee filters from Dollar Tree, they seem a little thicker than the ones that I used last time I made hydrangeas. So you're gonna, this is 2. I'm folding it in half and smoothing it out, and then I'm folding it in half again and smoothing it. And it does not have to be perfect. And then I'm folding it again and smoothing it. Okay, and let's do the first kind, which is the easiest. Like this. Isn't this pretty? Oh my gosh, it just feels so nice too. Okay, so to do this one, all I did was just some kind of gentle waves around the top. And I'll hold this up in just a minute. And if you were gonna make it super big, you could, of course, vary these. You could cut some of them shorter, some of them longer. This is what this looks like basically when you get it opened. Okay, let me do 2 more because we're gonna paint these in just a minute, and I like to paint 4 at a time. The painting part is so much fun, oh my gosh. So then when my flowers, after I had cut them and painted them, I took them outside on a cookie sheet and laid them in the sunshine on my back deck. It's sunny in Atlanta today, which means I'm in a happy mood. Anyways, I laid them out to dry, and they were dry in, gosh, under 30 minutes. So they dry really quickly when you put them outside in the sunshine. So I'm going to do the same thing to this set. This is kind of hilly. Okay. All right, so we will set this aside and we'll come back and paint these in just a few minutes. Okay, the next one I want to show you how to do are this kind. And I just happen to do this one yellow and pink, but of course you can do the colors any color you want. So let me show you how to do that one. Yes. Okay. So same deal. Smooth your coffee filter out as much as you can and fold it in half and then in half. And when we do the hydrangea, which is the next one we'll do, we even go in one more time. But for this one, we're not going to. I feel like I have a lump here of something going on. Okay, so for this one right here, we're just cutting long petals, and I'll show you what they look like. And it's not necessary to get the ends of them all smooth or anything like that. That does not matter at all. That's one thing I was trying to figure out how to do the first batch of these. Okay. Looks like some fingers or a chicken's, a rooster's, you know, whatever you call that thing. And this is what it looks like. And I'm going to do this other one, which I need 2. And we'll paint these ones also, and we'll do something different with the colors. What I have found is that the ones that I painted with the more intense pigmentation, it shows up better. Oh, Ginger, I'm so glad you love flower tutorials, because that's like my favorite thing. I would do flowers every single day, but I think you guys would get sick of them, and maybe I would. I don't know. I love doing flowers. And I love doing them with something that's just a little bit unusual, like coffee filters. If you're a serious crafter, you've probably already done stuff like this before, but a lot of people that are kind of new to crafting or coming back to it after a while, that's what this tutorial is really more for, to show you just how super easy these are. And so you guys, if you watch DIY at all, you've probably heard me say this 100 times, that I never have a specific end in mind when I start a craft. So I had no idea where I was going with these flowers when I was cutting them out or painting them, except for the hydrangea. That one I did kind of have an idea. Something's going on here. These Dollar Tree coffee filters don't smush down as flat as a better quality one does. So I don't know. The bonus is that they were $1. Okay, so here's another one. And this is what I mean about the tops being jagged. That's completely okay. All right, so here's our pile for these. And you could do way more than 4. In fact, I probably would, but for sake of time, I'm just gonna do 4 of each flower. Okay, now let's do the hydrangeas. And these are a little bit more complicated. And for these, you're gonna need a pencil. How many do I have here? Oh, I have 3. That's gonna make it hard because we're folding this down. Okay, so you fold it in half and smash it flat as much as possible. Then you fold that in half. This is seriously, when you were a kid, if you liked dyeing Easter eggs and doing all kinds of crazy colors and stuff, you are gonna love this. And if you've been watching DIY and you have some of these Magnolia inks already for your stencils, you can use those to make what we're gonna paint our flowers with. So I'm gonna go one more time smaller. Okay, so I don't know how many folds that was, but it's pretty little. And then what I'm gonna do is, at the top of it, I'm gonna draw 2 big circles. Okay, can you see that at all? Yeah, you kind of can. And then I'm just gonna draw from where they are, like down. I'll draw this a little bit darker so you can see better. And I have seen other crafters do these different. So this is just my way, which my way is usually me trying to figure out how to do the whatever it is, the easiest way possible. Okay. So you do want to be careful, because cutting through all this thick paper, I could see where you might snip your finger. I haven't done that personally, but I could imagine that happening, and that would not be good. You guys, the last hydrangea video that I did, oh my word, I had so many problems that day. First of all, it was kind of dark. And then I guess I did not have my camera in the most ideal placement. And that was like a year ago, or I don't even know. It's been a while. But even still, when people watch it, they're telling me to aim my camera down. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to redo this and show you that I have somewhat figured that out, and I hope it's better. This is what this looks like. There's 2 little round flowers, and then I've cut it down. You can see this is what it's gonna look like. As we unfold it. And let me cut one more set of 2 so that we can do 4. We'll do that quickly. The painting part is so much fun. Oh my goodness. Hey Barb, how are you doing? And I see Margaret and Sarah and Debbie and Lynn and Pam. Lots of people watching. If you have coffee filters, if you have scissors, we're gonna just use a teeny bit of hot glue. and something to dye the coffee filters with, you can do this project. Seriously. And if you've been crafting with me, I love to use the inks from Magnolia, so you may already have some of them. These are great. I did use warm water from my tap when I was mixing it up. Okay, so I folded it really small, and I'm gonna draw on here 2 round circles. And this looks like a tree trunk to me, sort of. This would be a super fun activity to do the easy ones with children or grandchildren. These more complicated ones that you're cutting more for the hydrangeas, I don't know that I would ask somebody young to cut that out, but the other ones are a piece of cake. Okay, so I have my hydrangea coffee filters all ready to go. Okay, open up here. Okay. So how about we do the hydrangeas first? Does that sound good? All right. Get rid of some of this mess here. When I was doing this here, I did it in my kitchen, and I did it on the cookie sheet. And then I just changed the paper and took everything outside. So I'm going to do it on this cookie sheet just to, I have 2 layers of paper towels here, and I have my, you'll be able to see this better once I start painting, okay? I have my hydrangea, my 4 pieces, and I'm using this cerulean blue and the turquoise. And I need a couple of paint brushes. And then you're just gonna start randomly putting your ink on here. Can you guys see how it just, okay, let me see, what can I do? By the way, if these comments are bugging you, you should be able to swipe them out of the way. Okay, that might be a little better. So we're going to end up doing both sides, and you can see how I'm just almost more like just dripping it on to my coffee filters with my paintbrush. Can you see that? Let me show you. Okay, and now I'm going to use the other color, the blue, to kind of fill in. And at any point, if you feel like it's getting too thin, you can pull out a little bit more. Let's do that right now. I'll show you how. Pull out a little bit more of whatever ink color it was that you're working with. And I'm just going to use a little spatula to grab a blob, and I'm going to put it in my water. And then I could add more water if I wanted. Let me just use my Magnolia mister. And then with the paintbrush, or this is what I used when I was initially mixing everything up with a little whisk. So I'm just trying to get it more saturated in there so my color will not be so opaque or transparent. And maybe you noticed that I didn't color all of the ends of these turquoise because I wanted a little mix to show up between this blue and the turquoise. This part is so relaxing. Especially if you give yourself permission to just experiment and not be thinking that it has to be perfect the first time. Okay, here's the front, and this is what the back looks like. There's the front and here's the back. So we're gonna paint the back. And again, we're just, you know, just doing random where we think that it looks kind of whitish, like it didn't go all the way through. Put more of this on here in different places. Okay, just thinking, what can I put this on while I am showing you the next flowers? I'll put it on this other tray. My cookie sheets are getting a workout today. Okay, so I'm gonna lay this on my cookie sheet. It's 4 layers of the hydrangea, and it's gonna dry so it looks like this. You could go back and add more if you want it more intense. So I just opted for blue and turquoise, but you could do gray and purple. You could do like add a green in there, whatever kind of hydrangeas you like. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep working over this same paper towel, and let's do this one next. These are just, I don't know what this reminds me of, something. So I'm laying all 4 layers down, and let's do like a dark red in the center, and maybe some yellow and pink. How does that sound? Okay, this was the red that I mixed up, and you can see how that really soaks in. It's super pigmented. And I think it would be fun to have a few little places on the petals where there's just a little teeny bit of red. Okay, now let's do, this is the sangria color. Let's use this one. Let me think about this. No, let's do yellow next and then sangria. This is how all of the flowers that I made this morning evolved. I didn't know what I was doing until I started doing it. Oh, you know what? We need to go back. Oops, I forgot to do the other side. Let's do that right now. So this is the red. This will color this one, plus it will color the in-between layers ones, because there's 4 layers here. Okay. So let's do the yellow now. I'm just kind of blending that into where the red already is. Can you guys see that? Isn't this fun? Oh my gosh. Wow, there's 427 people on right now. That's awesome. Hey, if you have any friends that like this kind of craft project, feel free to sprinkle. Like I was saying before, the last time I did flowers, I was making the hydrangeas, and I just had the hardest time that day with my lighting. How embarrassing. I'll tell you why it's embarrassing, because for some reason that particular video went viral. I mean, like over 2 million people saw it, and I got, I don't know, 10,000 comments or something, and they were almost all people saying, please, we can't see well, please lift your camera up, or things like that. So I was just embarrassed that that is what happened. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna do a good job, and hopefully I won't have any issues. Okay, so we have the yellow and the red. And you could do, I have some other examples to show you when I'm done here, but you could do, I think I'm gonna do this sangria color. You could, let's see how much it, oh yeah, that's pretty. You could do really any color you want on these. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. We might come back and add some more yellow around the very outside ring. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay, now we're gonna do the back. This is 4 layers. If you had like 8 pieces that you wanted to do, I would just do 4 at a time and just keep them sitting next to each other so you can remember how you wanted it to look. And they don't have to be exactly the same. In fact, sometimes that is nice to vary how they look. Okay, so this is what we have. Let's go back and do a little bit more yellow on the very outside. This is going to be pretty where I had the spots where I put a little bit of red out there. So tell me in the comments if you have made coffee filter flowers before, and here's what I would really love. If you have made them before and you are, you know, willing, put a picture of the coffee filter flowers that you have made in the comments for all of us to see. This just could not be simpler. And everybody has their own spin on it. My spins are always like, what's going to be the easiest way to do it? So here's what I have on one side, and we're going to come back and do the back side of this. This looks very tie-dye-ish, but it won't look like that when it's dry and scrunched and made into a flower. Okay, so here is this one, the back and the front. This is the red Magnolia ink, yellow, that Sangria ink, and then yellow again. And they have lots of colors. So if those particular colors are not in stock right now, don't sweat it, because you can choose something different for right now. And there's plenty of options. I was thinking that some of the oranges would be great. Okay, now let's do these ones that we just did the gentle kind of wave. And this is the one that I did before, and I honestly, I love this. Can you see how it has the yellow on the inside? To me, it almost kind of looks like a peony. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? So, should we do the same thing again? I think so, let's do. I used yellow in the center and then these 2 pinks. And I think I might have used a few little splashes of the red. And I did not make this center part very large. So we're gonna flip it over, and put some ink back here. Okay. It does remind you of a peony. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Yeah. And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. You know, one of the good things about using these Dollar Tree coffee filters that I mentioned are a little bit thicker is they have some real oomph to them. They stand up. You can manipulate how the shape is. I'm going to show you the idea of how to put them on a stick. So. Okay, now I need, let's try some pink. And there is also, I mean, there's so many colors. Oh look how pretty that is already. You wouldn't even necessarily have to do anything else. You could leave the ends white, or you could come back and just do a little hint of pink on the edges. What do you think about that? That might be pretty. Let's try that. But when I was doing this one, I did the lighter pink and then I did the sangria. So I'm going to put just a little bit of pink on the edges, and then I'll put a little bit of that sangria color on the edges too. Oh, and I need to do the pink around the center on the back. Oops, I forgot that. See what I mean? I forgot to do this part. I just love how it bleeds into the paper. So this morning when I was getting ready to do this project, I realized that I didn't have any more of the white coffee filters, and I was seriously bummed. All I had were these ones, and I will show you some examples of how you can do the very same thing with these. But I sent my son to the Dollar Tree with one of them, one of those brown ones, and I wrote in the center of it, coffee filters, in case he needed to ask someone to help him find them, and sure enough he did. He couldn't find them. Thought that was funny. I just want to kind of highlight. And you know what? Maybe I want it to be darker. Let's try the red. This is like an experiment every time. You just have no idea what you're going to get. Ooh, this is pretty. I'll hold it up in just a second to show you guys. Ooh, it's really pretty. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's do the back of it. Because the back side of these flowers want to have a little red, little bits around them too. So this is what that looks like right now. That's the back and here's the front, or either way around. I wonder what it would look like if I put a little darker here and there. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Okay, so let me set this aside. We might come back to this. I have my heat gun out, so we could potentially try to dry that one just to see what it's gonna look like. But I wanna show you the next things. All right, so this is the one that I showed you already. Here are a bunch of the hydrangea ones that I made. And there's two different ways to do this. You can use a little hot glue and stack them, you know, one on top of the other. Put some of them, and just be gentle pulling them apart because they're gonna wanna stick together. Come on. So you could, you know, put some of them so they poke out in one side just a little bit more, and just glue them all down, and then you can scrunch them. And I would do all these layers. Or the other thing you can do with hydrangeas is you can just pinch each one and add them all together, and then we're going to scrunch. I personally like the layering idea better, so that's what we're going to do. And I have my hot glue gun all ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little dot in the center and lay down another one of my coffee filters. And then I'm going to do another little dot in the center. And lay down another piece. And if you have some that are darker, you might want to alternate them. These ones are really stuck together. So I'm so curious to know what you guys think. Do you like this? Hey Martha, how you doing, friend? Tell me in the comments if you like these coffee filter flowers. And before the very end, I would love to know which one you prefer. We'll figure out a name for all three of them. Okay, so there's just a little blob and a lot of glue strings. A little blob of glue in between each layer, all right? And it's holding the whole thing together. So then the next thing is the scrunching, and that's where it's really fun. And you're literally just gonna kind of soften it up, pull bits in and out. The hydrangeas I made before are right here, the ones that nobody could see what I was doing. And they are different from this one. You know what, I'm looking at this, I cut out the tip of it different too. Let me show you that, I'm just remembering. But this one was purple and green, and this one was blue with some darker blue on it. And then these are some leaves that I made out of book pages that I kind of did the same effect to. That's one of my favorite projects. Okay, so this is basically what you're gonna do, is you're gonna keep fiddling with it until you get what you like. And then you can run a string around this little back knob if you want, or you can poke a skewer through it. And to make these skewers, what I did was, and I might come back and paint these. So this is a small, one of these small wood beads, and this is just a shorter shish kebab skewer. And what I did is I put a little blob of hot glue inside of my round bead, and I pushed my skewer through it, and I'm going to pull off the extra hot glue at the end, and there you go. So let's see if we can find the center-ish. The hot glue might make it a little bit difficult to get through. Let's try. Nope. Don't skewer yourself though. And this shish kebab skewer with the with the ball on it. I did not see this idea anywhere. This was just kind of what I did because I'm always trying to do my projects with what I have on hand, and this is what I had on hand. But I think it's a pretty good solution. You could just, we could just fold one of these petals over that little center and glue it down, and then you would never ever see that ball in there. So what do you guys think? Pretty cute, huh? Okay, then I wanted to show you this one, which this is the one that I made with all the long things, and we made it to look like this time around. So I'm going to do the same thing. I've already started gluing the little pieces together. So let's keep going. And I will, before I get off, I will show you guys that other cut for the hydrangea, which I completely forgot, I guess, today when I was getting ready. This was one that I cut out a different shape, and I think it would be fine. I painted it the same. Okay, so now we have all of our layers together. And I'm just gonna take one of these shish kebabs. And poke it through roughly wherever that center is. And then you start doing your scrunching. And really how it looks is up to you. But this is a mix of this pink and yellow, and I do like that combination. So here's our hydrangea. Here's this one. Here's the one I love the best. And let me show you a few more. These are the ones that I made earlier to make another one of these. And what the heck, is anyone in a hurry? It looks like a dahlia. Do you have 8 layers on all of them? No. This one is only 3. But I'm gonna do this one again with these pieces that I made before I came live that are the same as this. And it'll have more layers, I'll count. And this one also, I got turquoise paint on it, but it doesn't matter, I don't think. You're never gonna see that. So there's 2 layers. Here's 3. There's 4. And I'm trying to just kind of turn them around here and there. Here's 5. Which one's the prettiest? I want the prettiest one to be in the center. This one's got the darkest pink, so we'll put that one on the very center. And I will put a flower in both of the blessing boxes that I'm working on right now. I'm not sure which one, but there will be a flower in each box. Okay, I lost counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 layers here. There's only 3 layers in this one. Okay, and I don't know, it might be hard to get my little skewer to go through. We'll see. Oh, not too bad. Come on. That glue is really persnickety. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little blob of glue underneath this just to hold my flower up there. Can you see what I mean? So I just put it so it won't fall down. Okay, now the fun part is just to, you can start on the center one if you want, and you're just gonna scrunch each one up. This is like those scrunched, stacked book page flowers that we made a while ago. And I'm really just crunching them. I'll uncrunch them so that they're not so crunched up when I'm all finished. This is really pretty, you guys. It's so pretty in person. Oh my gosh. I had no idea what the result would be when I started this morning. Okay, I do want to open it up a little bit though so you can see the yellow in the center. And I have that scrunched so tight that what do you guys think? Isn't it pretty? This is 3 layers and this is 8. And they're both pretty, I think. Now, if you have like the bottom layer doesn't want to stay up next to the next one, you can put a little dab of glue here and there to make your flower do what you want it to do. And I could continue scrunching and changing this forever, but I'm gonna try to restrain myself. Do you guys like it? Gorgeous. Oh, thank you. These really did turn out super pretty if I don't say so myself. They have a lot of glue strings on them, but okay. Now I want to show you, this is everything you need to know about making flowers. These were my first ones that I was experimenting with. And these were different of these ones that I cut out with what looks more like a rose petal. And it's on the paper that the brown coffee filters. And we could go back and use these other ones that I did not cut. And let's make some more rose petals. I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll put this one together. And then, I don't know, I might try this one because this is the one I'm super curious to know how it's gonna look. We'll see. And okay, so to do a rose petal, or what I imagine a rose petal, is you're just gonna do kind of like, it looks almost like a parentheses. Can you see it? I drew it on there. So let me cut this out. All right, and that is what it looks like. It's got that little point. Oh, and I also cut down each side just a smidge to get some definition. Okay, some of these will be separated and some of these won't. Can see. So we could add these and make something out of this one. But I feel like I've been talking forever, so what about the hydrangea I just got on? Did you miss it? Yes, but you know what? You can go back, and I would suggest that you do. Go back, if you're just now getting on, go back and watch it when I'm all finished here live, because right now I'm live. And watch on replay, because I talk about everything, and I show you how I cut each one out. I show you specifically how I painted them. All right, so I'm not sure if this is gonna look like a rose or what it's gonna look like, but let's put it together real quick. And these were the other ones that I was fiddling around with. And I wanna show you the shape for the old hydrangeas that I did last time. So let me just quickly layer this up. And I wanna kind of alternate. This is really a pretty one. Okay, let me glue them real quick and then we'll scrunch them and we'll move on from there. When I was making this, I had no idea where I was going, like most of my crafts. And if you don't know where you're going or what you're aiming at, you're never disappointed with what your results are, so. Okay, so they're all glued together. And let's just scrunch this one and I'll come back and do the I'll come back and do the skewer in it. And I don't know, maybe you don't want to scrunch this one. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to scrunch them littler. What the heck, I'm gonna put it on a skewer. So that is what that is pretty too, and this one started as one of the natural coffee filters. I would continue fiddling around with that, but here's some of the ones that we've made. And they're all different. Now what I want to do is I'm going to come back to this. I'll dry it and do it, and I'll take pictures of it after I'm all finished. I'll do that off camera, and I'll do the other two flowers that we built here too. But I want to show you how I did the other hydrangeas, these ones up here, which if you're just joining me, I did a live a long time ago with terrible lighting, terrible sound, everything was terrible, except the flowers turned out great. And I'm remembering now how I drew those. But it's the same process. You fold, 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 fold until you get down really skinny. Okay, here's our little skinny thing. And it was 4 circles is what it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your tree trunk. So this is more what the first one I did looked like. Can you guys see that? I know it's hard with the light shining, but let me try to cut it out real quick. And this is only 2 layers. This is a little more detailed, so I probably wouldn't fold up too many layers all at the same time to cut this one. Okay, yes, this is reminding me of what the original ones were. I don't know why I didn't remember that when I was working on this earlier. I just didn't. Looks like a little cluster of grapes or something. Can you guys see that? Okay. And when you open it, it's gonna look like this, which this is more hydrangea-like than how I did this one. And I think it'll look more hydrangea-like too once it's all scrunched up and everything. And if there were more layers. But yeah, so really you can do these however you want. There's no magic way. I really do love using the Magnolia inks to make my little pots of goodness. I just used some warm water. I didn't measure. I just put a little bit of warm water in each one, put a little spoonful, a little dab of each color, stirred it, and this is what I ended up with. If you want, you can use a little whisk, or a paintbrush actually works great to mix them up. Let me push all of this stuff away, and here's the little skewer idea. Push all of this back so I can put our flowers up here front and center. I'm fiddling around with these here because people usually tell me they want to take a screenshot at the end, and I want you to be able to see them, but I will get better photos, I promise. So I hope you liked this. Check back here at DIY Dreaming later because I will dry these other ones that we made. And I will scrunch them and see what they end up looking like. And if you want to look at the colors of ink that Magnolia has, I put a link right here, right there, just to the ink. But there's all kinds of other great things there too. And these last forever. And just in case you didn't know, they have a white top. These can be used on fabric to make all kinds of tea towels, t-shirts, totes, aprons, And after this ink dries, you heat set it with an iron and it's permanent and washable. You can also use this same ink on ceramics and then you heat set it in the oven and it's permanent as well. So this stuff is magic, if you ask me. Anyways, okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna let this run for just a minute or two. I can't figure out where I am, which side I'm on, or where you'll be able to see better. Sorry. But I will get better pictures when I'm all finished. That's the way it needed to go. So thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. Please feel free to sprinkle. Put it on your homepage if you would like. That's a great way to be able to come back to it later if you think you're going to want to watch it later. It's also a great way for you to let your crafty friends in your life know how to make these super duper easy coffee filter flowers that started just with Dollar Tree coffee filters. And I didn't do any complicated patterns or anything that was difficult here. By the way, one last thing, and then I'll quit talking, I promise. If you want to see the other crafts that I do here at DIY Dreaming, they're always quick because I have a short attention span. They're super easy. You don't have to have any crafting abilities or art skills. They're usually something a little different about them or unusual. They're almost always faith, family, or flowers. The 3 F's, faith, family, and flowers. And they're usually super affordable. So if you like those kind of things, take a peek up here and look to see if you've liked and followed and set your notifications for DIY Dreaming, and then do a this, that's a thumb in case you're wondering, or a this, or say something here in the comments, and those all improve your chances that Facebook will serve you my content, including Christ and Crafting on Sunday. Better. I'm the bestest. You guys are so sweet. And oh my goodness, wow. You guys are so generous with all those stars. Thank you so much. That's what keeps me in coffee filters and paintbrushes and, you know, glue sticks and all that kind of stuff. That's one of the things that helps me keep crafting, and so I appreciate it. Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness, and somebody else just sent stars, but I can't see who it was. Linda, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. would I show the framed heart? I would love to. This is one of my, whoops. Okay, this is what she's asking about. This is one of my all-time favorite projects, and it involved a quilt that was literally falling apart that my friend Anne, her grandmother and great-grandmother made it somewhere in Mississippi. So she sent me a few pieces and I made these different hearts, which it's just attached to this little clear glass frame. I made some brooches. I made some stuffed ones. And I just adore how this turned out. This is my kind of craft for sure. So that's what that is. You swear I look beautiful in any color you wear. Love that curl color. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I really do think that this flower creation video is better than my last one, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna actually say goodbye now, and I will finish these other ones up. I'll get pictures. I'll put them here in the comments so you can come back to this post and look. I'll also put just a separate post here at DiyDreaming on my Facebook page just with the pictures. And feel free to sprinkle either this video or the picture of the coffee filter flowers if you would like. And don't hesitate to ask questions. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later.